What's up, guys? It's your boy, the man, the myth, the legend, Pickdroppers, back at it again with a Week 15 post-game thoughts video. Now, in this video, I'm going to be going over all the Week 15 games. Now, the first game that I want to talk about for this past week's games is Baltimore barely beating Philly. Now, this affects a lot of teams in the AFC, in particular the Steelers, because if Baltimore would have lost that game, the Steelers pretty much would have clinched the division because they would have been up 2 games. They would have only needed to win 1 game, and they played Cleveland the last week, so they pretty much would have clinched the division then. And that was a huge loss by Philly. They missed the 2-point conversion. They're now definitely out of the playoffs. Definitely a bad game by them. Weren't really able to get anything going on offense, and their defense wasn't playing too good. They had a really rocky start, throwing a pick, I believe, on the first drive. Now, the next game that I want to talk about is the Denver Broncos losing to the New England Patriots 16-3. This was a big eye-opener, and it really showed that Denver will not be making the playoffs this year, most likely. They only put up 3 points against New England's defense, which isn't too good. I mean, they're not horrific, but they're not, amazing. And I was definitely surprised to see this score. It was a really bad loss for Denver, and New England's really looking like a good team, and it shows that even though Tom Brady had a bad game, New England could still win, which is definitely interesting, and I really want to see how New England's going to be able to finish out the year, and how the rest of the games for Denver are going to go, playing 2 really hard opponents in Oakland and Kansas City, I'm pretty sure. Now, the next game I want to talk about is Oakland-San Diego. Now, in case you guys did not know, if Oakland would have lost this game, Kansas City would have still been in first in the division. But since they won, Oakland is now in first in their division. And I was definitely surprised by this, how close of a game it was. You know, San Diego probably arguably should have won that game. They definitely did not play very well. And I was really surprised with how close it was until the very end. And then San Diego just blew the game. And it was kind of embarrassing. It's really hard, though, for them to win after all of their injuries that they've had with Joey Bosa, Melvin Gordon, Danny Woodhead, Jason Barrett, Keenan Allen. I mean, I could go on and on and on. It has just not been a good year for San Diego, and it really showed in this past week's game. Huge loss to the Oakland Raiders. Now, the last game that I want to talk about is the Dallas Cowboys playing the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, this was on Sunday night, and Tampa Bay really looked good, if I had to say so myself. You know, I really definitely thought Dallas was going to fly by Tampa Bay, but Tampa Bay really looked like a good team, and they could have won it on the last drive, honestly. But, you know, a couple of bad plays by Jameis Winston, really caused them to lose this game. And it was just not very good for them. They now are the 7th seed, I'm pretty sure. They would be out of the playoffs at this moment. And Dallas really showed that it can come back and beat good teams. And it was just an all-around great play by Dallas. Great game by them. And gotta give props to them. Now, after explaining all those games, I want to look at the playoff rankings after this past week's game. Now, the first game that I look at, or the first couple teams that really are standing out to me, are the Houston, Tennessee, and Indianapolis division. I really want to talk about that. And I'm going to go over who I think is going to win each division. Now, I'm not going to talk about New England, because they won their division, and I'm not going to talk about Dallas because they already won their division. And lastly, I'm not going to talk about Seattle because they won their division. Now, the teams that I will talk about is the first game, the Pittsburgh Steelers division. I do think the Steelers will win that division. I think their offense is just too potent, and all they need to do is going to win this upcoming week, and they win the division. I think if they lose this upcoming week, they lose the division, and the Steelers are just such a good team. I think they'll be able to win, especially since they're at home, which is their strength. And then the next division that I want to talk about is Houston, Tennessee, Indianapolis division. And I think that Houston will win this game. I think that the winner of the Houston versus Tennessee matchup in Week 17 will be the winner of the division. And I think Houston will win that. And so, therefore, I think Houston will win the division. And they're 5-0 in their division, so they'll win any tiebreakers within their division. And, yeah, that's how I see it. Now, the next division I want to talk about is Oakland, Kansas City division. I do think Oakland will win. Oakland definitely has the easier schedule. And so I think that they will win. They already have a game up on Kansas City. So, yeah, that's my thoughts on that. And then in the NFC, I think that the Lions will win the division. I think a lot of people are doubting them because of their schedule. But I do think the Lions will win against Green Bay in Week 16. Definitely a very good matchup. I think they will lose this week. But I think their offense is just going to be too much. And their defense is just so much better than Green Bay, especially Green Bay's horrific secondary. So I think that will happen. I think Atlanta will win their division to round off all the divisions. I think Atlanta's offense is just too much, and they play Carolina and New Orleans, so those should be 2 easy wins. And so that's all the divisions. Thank you guys for watching this video. Please like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new, and write a comment down below on what you would like to see next. It's your boy Pickdroppers, and I'm out. Peace!